The US government debt ceiling will be reached on Thursday, the 17th of October. And no surprise there, but what the biggest surprise, I think, is that we have come closer than on ever before, really, to what some people would call financial Armageddon. And that is a situation where we get no consensus between the two main political parties in America, the Republicans and the Democrats. The Republicans control the lower house, the House of Representatives. The Democrats control the Senate. And for a consensus to emerge, you've got to have these two warring parties coming together and agreeing a package. And that hasn't happened. And if anything, although we thought we were going to get a consensus in the past few days, they seem now to be getting further and further apart. John Boehner, the Speaker in the House of Representatives, is increasingly finding it difficult to rally his troops behind him, and there's a bit of a split appearing there. And their opinion poll ratings are going lower and lower. The US public has got less and less confidence in the Republicans. So that is why I think at some point in time we will get a political consensus materializing between these two, and we will get a situation where the debt ceiling, as I say, currently at 16.7 trillion, will be progressively raised. Some observers have suggested that by the time Barack Obama leaves office in 3 years' time, we will see that level at between 20 and 24 trillion US dollars, a massive figure. So I think everyone agrees that we have to do something, or the US authorities have to do something to try and reduce this, but it's not at this point in time looking exactly that clear how it's going to materialize. If we don't reach consensus, if the two parties don't come to an agreement, and if in the wake of that we get a downgrade of US government debt, and we get a big fallout, should I say, in US financial markets, I think the consequences could be quite horrendous, because we're talking here about the economy whose currency isn't just a reserve currency like the US, so the UK pound and the euro. It is in fact the world's monetary standard and took over from gold back in the early 1970s. So what this would do if we don't get consensus, if they do default, if they don't make an interest payment on their huge amount of outstanding treasury bills, is that we could get this massive loss of faith, a loss of confidence in the US as an economy, as the lender of last resort. So the Chinese and the Japanese, who collectively have about between $1.5 and $2 trillion worth of treasury bills, might well just pull them and go somewhere else. And this would send shockwaves around the world, probably that we haven't seen in many, many generations. Could send equity markets to very, very low valuations, both in America and around the world. So that is the kind of Armageddon situation that I think none of us actually want to see. But that is very much an outlier. It's a low percentage probability. And my considered view is that we are going to see consensus on this, hopefully in the next couple of days.